Max Frost live on Austin City Limits Radio tonight at the Scoot Inn, c3concerts.com for those handful of remaining tickets. So your mother's here, your grandfather. One of the things I don't think we've ever talked about is I know you come from Austin's, they used to call it U21, under 21 scene. What was young Max Frost like? When did you know this is what you wanted to do? And how could you have only done that in Austin?
I feel like I'm still making my mind up on that. But the first time I started really playing shows, it was in Austin. I think I really might have played Antone's the first time whenever I was probably 10, 11, 12, something like that. I started playing guitar when I was 8 or 9. Not to sound like I was like rolling in smoking a cigarette as a 10-year-old kid, like, let me play you some blues, man. I was more just like, I was in rock camp and I was, doing that whole thing. And then started getting into bands a little bit more seriously, 14, 15. But I was always like the 14-year-old kid in the back shredding some blues while everyone else was like 16, 17, 18, something like that. And then I went to UT and I started, I guess that's the older me then. 18's old Max. But young Max, 14, that's the answer.
I picture this triumvirate of Austin folks who were doing things on a national stage, and it's you, Alejandro, Shaky Graves, and Gary. And all of you have had to sort of overcome what people here and wherever else think they're supposed to be. Yeah. So in Shaky Graves' case, they think it's Americana. In Gary's case, he should only be playing blues. Yeah. And you're a pop guy from Austin.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
And people don't picture us as a town that produces pop guys. Has that been something you've had to struggle with?
A little bit. I mean, I feel like those that have really dove into my catalog and have ever seen my show or really are familiar with me as an artist know or can see the vibe. It's like I play guitar, I play a bunch of different instruments. I play bass and drums and keys and all this stuff. Like that to me is a very Austin thing. I think kind of the lack of genre specificity to what I do is kind of a throw to Austin in a big way. And I think that, I'm a blues singer, I'm a blues guitar player. That's from this world. I mean, there's not a lot of like pop stuff, but it's just kind of has always kind of been a backbone of what I'm like as a songwriter, really more than what I'm like as an artist, I guess, or at least I hope, I don't know. But yeah, that's definitely been something that has always kind of made me like a little bit, by being a little bit more mainstream, I've been left of center for Austin.
You toured with 21 Pilots recently, played Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
I saw you somewhere talking about a moment of silence.
Yeah.
Tell the people about that, because I think that's really interesting that we think of Madison Square Garden. You can have a silent moment on stage.
Because the crazy thing about the way that they set those things up is it's like, the stage is massive, and the system that's playing that music is so big that it's almost like, and because everyone's got in-ears in, you're not using wedges on a stage like that. So you've got your in-ears in, and whenever you take them out, and if, it would be the beginning, I'd go up on stage with 21 Pilots, and they would be starting like Hey Jude, it would be like a cover we would do together. And I'd pull my ears out, I'd just sit down on the front of the drummer's drum kit, and it would be like, I don't know, it's like Tyler's over there starting Hey Jude, so it's just a piano and a vocal. And there's some people singing, but not really yet. They're still trying to figure out what's going on because it's all changed. And then Josh would come up from behind the kit and would sit here. And it was just this weirdly, it was not quiet, but it's definitely not like some insane, you're not in like you haven't just scored a goal at a soccer game or something. It's like you're just sitting there and there's this weird moment where you're just kind of taking it in. And I tried to really, really focus on that and enjoy that because I was like, I'm going to need to hold this inside when I'm back in a van on a club tour here in a couple months. I'm going to need to just go back to this moment and just feel it.
Typically when things are happening around a debut album, it takes a year or so off the road for you to process what's happening and be able to talk about it. I feel like you're one of those guys, though, that can process things like that immediately. And all the opportunities across the last year, whether it's the Good Morning America or this tour or Panic at the Disco dates, you seem to know what that's about.
Well, I don't act as, how do I put this on radio? I don't act as rock starish as many rock stars like that. I'm pretty sober for most of that stuff, And also my show is pretty, it's hands-on. I can't be rolling on stage like Motley Crue or something and then going crazy. I have to be like present in the moment. And I prefer to be, because then it's something that I can actually enjoy as something that happened in my life. You know, it's pretty incredible. Because I was really doing an interview like last year, early in the year, and somebody was like, yeah, what would be like a dream, you know, venue for you to play? And I just was thrown, I was like, I don't know, I don't like this question. Oh, Madison Square Garden, yeah, that'd be fun, that'd be a dream. And I really meant it, but I was like, yeah, that's never gonna happen. And then by the end of that year, it had happened. It was like something that I wanted to really like hold on to.
And do you think it means more that you're doing it alone, that you're on stage alone?
I think it means I'm insane. I'm not sure if it means more. It definitely means like, I definitely have lost almost to a scary point of fear of the performance. Like, I think it's almost good to have a little bit of that nerve, but that almost so desensitized me to do that like, by yourself, and just the amount of pressure that there was. I mean, that's, to me, it's like, you know, 21 Pilots is like one of the biggest bands around right now. It was an incredible opportunity. You're going up on stage by yourself, you know, when you're just thinking like, just don't mess this up, just don't mess, you know, you're thinking that every night, you know, but eventually you start to have fun with it. But it's definitely just kind of like it's like skydiving, I guess. You're standing side stage and you're just by yourself and you're going, all right. And there's some guys on there in a headset and he's like chewing a candy bar and he's like, all right, you ready? All right, hit lights.